live.
Yeah, it's too
You
bad that
know,
music doesn't.
I was thinking, I had an idea. Uh, what if we uploaded like a different,
Like a different one.
like a build up,
Yeah, when it builds up would be cool.
and then it had like some kind of grand,
Big crescendo.
a big yeah, big crescendo.
The biggest of crescendos.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm game.
Hey, you're getting a little bit of like your mic's breaking up a little bit. I don't know. It's
Oh,
not
really?
clipping, is it?
It could be. It's cranked. Now it's not.
Okay, talk.
Hello?
Yeah, I think it may be an internet thing. It's just like crackling a little bit.
All right, let me. I wonder if I should have done a restart on my computer. I turned my Pro Tools off.
Kevin, distant. What up? These guys are these guys are dedicated, man. Appreciate y'all dropping in. How y'all doing tonight? Rando Chatto. That's what I'm talking about.
Rando Chatto.
I wish I could comment from this window because I can't. Like I think you've got a bar
You
at the
can't
bottom or
comment there.
mm-mm.
What's it say on your? Oh, that's weird.
It's
You
just
should be able to.
it's just blank.
Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can go into the mainframe. Is my voice still all right or?
No, it's way better. It was crackly. It's not doing it anymore.
Um. Yeah. Let me check real quick. It's weird because I'm pretty sure it let me do it because I did my chat with Mike on this dealio.
And he was able to.
Well,
I want,
I think I was able to.
yeah. Yeah. So didn't didn't think it was happening this week, Mister Distant Watcher. I wasn't sure what we were gonna do. You know, we've tried to keep up a theme of doing like music based movies or movies about musicians or stuff. And the last couple of weeks, Kevin and I have been both pretty busy and struggled to come up with something.
There's not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of good ones left that are I think.
Well, and also like we tried to do stuff that you would be able to that you guys could watch too without having to like buy it or rent it. So like we've done stuff off Netflix, we did a YouTube documentary, some stuff off Amazon Prime. I mean, you'd have to have an Amazon membership I think for that one, but still it's stuff that like a lot of people have and you wouldn't necessarily have to like buy the movie. So we may have to either consider going a different direction, but yeah, I mean I think we want to keep doing these just to, if nothing else, like kind of check in with you guys and give you an opportunity to say what's up and if you have questions, comments, whatever.
So Chip, when you go to the you go to comments on the far left or whatever or
The
far
far
right,
right, yeah,
and so what's at the bottom?
there's nothing there.
Hmm.
It's just blank. It's
We'll
all
have to
good, man.
we'll have to talk to Langford see what he's
He may know
maybe he
something.
knows. I'm trying to Google it, but it thinks that I'm just wanting to have a chat like with a guest that's a voice chat. Anyway. So what's a good word, Chip? Well, Chip, you're gone. Chip,
Eh,
you dropped off, Chip.
yeah, I I clicked the little duck in the upper left hand corner, thinking that I'd be able to like check a like a setting, and it pulled me out of the studio.
Oh, the left duck?
Yeah, the upper left hand corner is a little duck up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right. Um, not much, man. And Kevin, I'm well, Kevin Wright asked how we're doing. Um, I'm doing pretty good. I know I saw you comment on our post earlier. Um, you know, kind of a somber day when I heard of Will's passing, and just kind of put stuff in perspective. So I've been kind
Was
of
that the last show that the one at the BFE? Was that, or didn't he go to another one after that, or was there? I thought he went to one. Uh,
Do you think he may have been at one of the Wildcatter shows?
that's the one I'm thinking.
But I'm trying to remember because they may have had to leave before they got a chance to like hang out. 'Cause I don't. But I mean, I'd stayed in touch with him and his buddy Jeremy on social media. They like Instagram messaged me from time to time, and just you know, it's
Yeah,
it's
that
tough,
show
man.
was a long time. When was that?
That was August of 2018. It's almost 3 years ago. Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. But
Yeah, we haven't played. We've only played Wildcatters for the last like 4 shows we've done. I think.
yeah,
Um, anyway,
well, they've I want to say gone after us pretty hard, but I think the owner and John both are pretty big fans, so they've made it hard to say no.
hey Chip, if you go to that section on the right, do you have one that says private chat?
Yeah,
What does that do?
yeah, I can chat with you there.
Oh, you just chat with me.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's dumb.
yeah.
I guess it's protecting you from your guests if they're
It seems like you'd
profane.
have a setting to allow a guest to um allow a guest to interact with people, but
That's what I would think, but I don't see it anywhere. So
I got my mom in the chat. What up,
heck
mom?
yeah, heck
Everybody
yeah.
be on your best behavior. Whoever it is that keeps posting vulgar comments, please don't do that. My mother's on the chat.
What's the office? My mother's coming.
Which is the day they all like to
Yeah.
sexually harass me as a joke. But yeah, what's up everybody? Britt, what's going on in Missouri?
Missouri?
Missouri. I'd have you tell me, but I think you need to show me. So Valerie, Lisa, showing some love to your book. I saw several people that bought your book in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So not if maybe not everybody knows, but Kevin is a creator of more than just music. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? So if anybody's interested, Kevin, what's the publisher?
I think it's this blurb.
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 Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's got a book out there.
they're the ones that jack up the price so that they can make all the coinage.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not getting rich on it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no. I need to get it to. I would need like a full on publisher to do that. Well, and then still, who knows? It's like everybody has books. Everybody's
Yeah.
got a book nowadays.
Yeah.
I'd like to do another one, but it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
For yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's worth all the time you put into it. Which is
Yeah.
it's not, and that's not the main thing. The main thing is that I get distracted.
Yeah, it's definitely a long-term sustained effort
And
to
then
make it
the
happen.
one that I was most working on now, there's like a couple movies that are like pretty similar to it that are coming out, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So what if,
Yeah.
dude? I went to Home Depot today to pick up some siding.
That's insane, right?
Yeah, well, no, nobody's there. The siding weighs, it's in a big box, right? Like, I mean, like staff. I'm trying to lug
Oh,
this.
okay. I was gonna say I thought that I figured it'd be is is it still packed like as far as customers,
No,
or is it kind of whatever?
it was whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get this box of siding, which weighs, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's like 13 or 12 feet long, right?
And they're
And it's
just like single stacked, right?
20 pieces of siding. I'm trying to get it on the cart, but the thing's heavy and long, and
Mm.
you try to put it on the cart, but the cart moves
The
because it has
cart rolls
wheels,
away.
dude.
It
And
pushes
then
it.
I finally got it on the cart, and then I realized that. So I grabbed one box, and then I grabbed some loose. Well,
Mm.
then I go to put it in my vehicle, and I realize that the loose is big, is like wider, and I didn't know which one I actually needed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I loaded it all in the car, everything was all in, and then I realized that two pieces were really wide, and I'm like, man, do I gotta go take all this back and get all the wide one? But
Yeah.
thankfully, it was right. But man,
The
why is there
the
two different sizes of stupid siding?
dude.
Like, what is the point of that?
Yeah.
Like if you don't know what you had before, it's just so annoying, man. And yeah, Home Depot. Kevin's right. Trying to get help in Home Depot, you might as well just it's just not even worth it.
Yeah.
Most people know more than the people that work at Home Depot.
Well, that reminds me of that Parks and Rec.
Yeah, yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. You see, and then like the opposite end is like, do you ever go to like the small town hardware store? Like do
Sometimes.
y'all have Ace up there?
No, we have something
No.
like that though.
But it's similar, right? So like here in the little town I live in outside of Houston, we have a little Ace store that's probably overstaffed, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
And it's like pretty handy dudes, like retire age,
yeah,
like guys. And so it's almost on the annoying end of the spectrum where you can't go in there and look without
yeah,
someone being like, "What you doing? What kind of project? What you got going?" And I mean, like they're knowledgeable. They're probably in a lot of ways, in a lot of areas, more knowledgeable than I am.
yeah.
But like, I remember going in there at like 16 years old, and Mom, I need you to put earmuffs on. But me and my buddy'd go in there to like get PVC to build like a potato cannon or
Yeah.
build shit we weren't supposed to be building,
Right.
right? And they'd be like, "What you doing with all that stuff?" It's like a science project for school, you know. And then they like, "Well, what is it? Maybe we can help you." Like, I would really prefer you didn't.
Yeah.
'Cause we ended up building like a pneumatic potato cannon, so to get away from like using spark and ignition,
Yeah, that's
we
how I know
built
a potato.
an air chamber with a ball valve on it, and it had like a Schrader valve on the bottom. So we'd like have an air compressor. We'd pressurize the bottom chamber and then
Yeah.
just twist the ball valve, and it would, send a burst of air.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we got away with doing it and it not being like technically illegal, because the incendiary ones, the one that use spark, are illegal here. They probably are everywhere.
Probably.
But we built one just using air pressure. We thought we were nifty. But the dude's like, "What are y'all building?" And like trying to help us out, but we just didn't want help.
Yeah, dude. I've been in Home Depot so many times trying to just get someone to tell me where something is, and it's like usually their app is actually pretty good at telling you where stuff is, but
Yeah.
if it doesn't tell you, I mean, good luck. And the
Yeah.
staff hardly know where anything is or anything for that matter. If you get the older guys, they're usually pretty good.
Yeah. It's like John in the comment section saying he used to work at Home Depot. He'd have three departments, phones, uh,
Yeah.
and two of them he didn't know. I mean, like a lot of this isn't like so much the employee's fault as much as yeah, I just got a text message from my mom about the potato cannon.
I can't believe I don't know who would want to work at a store like that and not learn as much as you can,
Well, the thing
so you
is,
don't look like a dumbass when someone asks you something.
I think though the thing is though is it's like I'm sure you've worked in situations like this, because I feel like we've had this conversation before, but you work for someone that puts you in a situation where you're like literally just doing the best you can to get by. And then by the time like you're off work, the last thing you want to do is like train on that shit that
Yeah,
you're
I
not being
guess.
like, you know what I'm saying?
But for me, if I had I would have more anxiety that somebody would ask me something and I wouldn't be able to find it and I'd look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And they'd just be getting madder and madder.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
and that's like I used to get frustrated.
because customers are not nice either.
Yeah, no, I believe me. I work with the general public every day.
Yeah,
And
customers are the worst.
with what I do, it can be brutal because you know what I mean, hell, you were in that industry for a while yourself. It
Oh
can be
yeah,
pretty punishing.
yeah,
But yeah, it's like, dude, what is this? Oh well. Adam's saying the one in is that Colorado? He said most of the
yeah.
employees are good.
Um, yeah. I don't know. It's whatever. But regardless, this was super annoying.
What up, Josh? Addendum. My mom just texted me because I didn't mention it, but I did accidentally put my brother in the hospital with that same potato gun. He was peeing blood. I bruised his kidney.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that would hurt.
yeah.
Uh, my uncle was in a Home Depot once trying to get help, and he called the store and was like, "Look, I'm in the
From
store
inside
from inside the store and
the
asked for
call's
somebody."
coming from inside the store. Yeah.
I was seeing this.
Oh, looking at the comments.
Yeah. No, I don't usually like the thing that's. So I look on the app. I need these corner pieces that go on the outside of the corner of the where you're putting the siding.
Yeah,
The app said there was like 30. I get there, there's none. No one's around. I feel like if I'm gonna ask them, they're not gonna know anyway. So I just had to
yeah.
leave without it because
The thing that used to frustrate me the most, and I don't care where it is if you don't know, just tell me you don't know. Please don't roam around with me because, like, unless you have an idea of what you're looking for or where it is, I'll roam around alone. I prefer not to have company that's like awkward, anxious person who doesn't like you don't know where it is. That's fine. Like I'm not upset with you. But the best story I have on that is, did I ever tell you about Circuit City? Did you ever go to a Circuit City
yeah,
when those were in business? So this is like literally the day that A Crow Left of the Murder came out. Incubus, the follow up after a Morning View.
yeah,
So I'm like, this is like the peak of my Incubus. Like I'm in love with this band, one of my favorite bands of all time. But I'm like fever pitch. I want the new record. So I go to Circuit City because there's not like any other record stores close to where I'm working at the time, and Circuit City is like a 7-minute drive. So I go there, and supposedly they have it, and I'm roaming up and down the CD aisle, looking all over for it. So I see this girl who works there, and I'm like, "Hey, can you look and see if you guys show this?" And she like goes in her computer, Incubus. She's like, "Which one?" I'm like, "A Crow Left of the Murder," and she's like, "Yeah, we show like 7 or whatever, like enough that it shouldn't be like an inventory issue. The album just came out, so if you show 7, you should have at least 1,
yeah,
right? And so like I'm like, well, I looked all in the rock section. I mean, obviously, I looked under I because that's where it ought to be.
yeah.
And she like looks around, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't shop here either."
You don't shop here. You don't need to shop there.
No, I'm like, I can't find anything. She's like, "Yeah, I get an employee discount, and I don't shop here."
Oh, because it was mislabeled.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's a wreck, dude. They didn't. They also, I don't know if you remember that place. They didn't have a they didn't have a cashier area. They just had like registers, like in random spots in different departments. And so because they didn't have like register area, there was no one working, like quote unquote working the register.
Yeah.
You just had to like find somebody who didn't claim they were busy and ask them to check you out.
Oh, that's stupid.
It was like a total disaster. It's super hard to believe that they went out of business.
Yeah, no, that's. Maybe I haven't been to one of those then.
Nice.
What is this?
Oh, Kevin talking about a guy basically wouldn't ring him up for an album, so he just went to the band and gave them the money directly. You're the real MVP, Kevin.
I don't believe you stole it. Who said that?
The guy at the register. That's what he's saying. What on we got a Twitch comment, able to ask questions of previous bands, been in throwback, what if question.
I don't know. I don't get that.
Yeah, like I think they're asking,
Sure.
are they able to ask us? If you're asking, can you ask us a question? Sure, go ahead.
Dude,
What's on your mind?
when I said yes to that, it says yes from every account that we're streaming from.
Oh, that's
It's dumb.
yeah, very for people on YouTube and Facebook, they're just like, yes,
Yeah. Um.
God guide you in your quest, Kevin.
Yeah. So anyway, I like to go to Home Depot as little as possible, but man, it's you gotta go. You gotta go.
I've been wanting to build something in my studio for a while, but I just like can't work up the will to A, go there, and B, pay
Dude.
what they're asking for a sheet of plywood and some 2x4s.
So when I went last July, I built a shed and I used OBS, which is like it's that the crappiest particle board you can get, but you use it as like the outer wall.
Yeah.
Um, OSB, sorry. It was $11 a sheet. Now
Isn't it 30 something?
it's 60.
What?
It's $60.
Dude, you're getting that Canada tax.
Oh man, what is this?
Do you want to touch that question?
Um, did they? How? Let me read this. If they were able to stick together, like, did they have more music? No, there wasn't really any more music.
So for people who aren't on Twitch, we had a Twitch question come in basically asking Kevin like what does he think would have happened if Evans Blue would have stuck together, or was there music that wasn't released or that people haven't heard basically?
Yeah, there was some music, but we were we were on a label and Hollywood Records, and we asked to get dropped. Because we wanted to get dropped. There's a lot of benefits to getting dropped. When you sign a record deal, you're hooked for. We were signed for 7 albums, and whether that's good or bad is completely on the label. Can sign you, make you do 7 albums, but they don't have to push those albums at all if they don't want to. So it might sound like it's good that you get 7 albums, but it's actually, if you do well, it's actually more of a curse because they don't have to renegotiate really ever. I mean, not a lot of bands make it 7 albums really when you think about it. But the good thing about getting dropped is that any debt you owe the label is gone. So we wanted to get dropped, and we were trying to get on. Who's the label that signed Evanescence? Do you remember them? Do you know that label? And Creed? It was like Word or something with a W, maybe.
Um,
It was like kind of a not a fringe label, but I think Creed
was it?
started.
I think Creed was on Wind Up. Is that who you're
Wind
thinking
Up,
of?
yeah, yeah. So we tried to get on them, and then everything all went to crap, and that's as far as we got.
Yeah. Yeah, and you obviously have more experience on that front than I do because I have none other than like having friends or knowing people. But the other game that they play, whether it's a deal for a record deal or it's an artist development deal, sometimes what they're doing is throwing some money or a contract at you just to keep you off the market. So
Yeah,
it's they. I mean, they play a
record
lot of
labels are like a necessary kind of evil, but
yeah.
they're kind of whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, like I made a post yesterday just because so I don't know if you saw it, but like there's been a lot of mentions. Like so there's been a few pages that have posted stuff like who do you think is the most underrated band of all time, or who would you put together on this tour, or stuff like that. And so I started seeing like a lot of our fans mentioning us, like unsolicited. Obviously, I'm not putting anybody, you're not putting anybody up to this. This is just fans of ours that are like, And so I started seeing these notifications pop up, and and I just got to thinking, man, like, we have a great fan base, and we owe most of the growth to them because we don't have a label. So we
Yeah.
don't have anybody like pushing us to radio stations or to Sirius XM. Um, we don't have anyone, like, we don't have a publicist or an agent or a booking agent or a manager or any of that stuff that these big bands that with these huge budgets have. And we've tried some Facebook ads here and there, but I mean we're talking about $20, $50 at a time. And some of these bands throw six-figure marketing campaigns, and up at a single. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I think last time somebody approached me about it, it was like, to start a major market campaign is a minimum of 25,000 to start.
Yeah.
And so, like, you start to realize like why some of the bands stay in the limelight is like they're putting money into the machine.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
so
can.
it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough for a band like us who we shoot our own videos. We've, in some cases, recording our own songs at our houses. Um, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Well, I can tell you that when we were trying to get dropped by the record label, we owed them a $500,000. So, but that's like that money is like so the way the record label works is you make, so let's just, it's for easy numbers, $10 is what you sell an album for, right?
yeah,
$2 in theory goes to the band. The rest is negotiated between the stores, I think, and the label. Of that $2, that's what you pay back your advance with. So if you set 100,000 records, or if you sold, yeah, no, if you got $100,000 advance, right?
mm-hmm.
You in theory would have to sell the $2 to make that back, right? So the profit that they make, that's a separate thing too, right? So the label will make their profit, but then they'll also take your $2 until you pay them back. So any money that is spent, the music video, touring, anything that's promoting, like we did a tour where we went to different radio stations, anything the label spends on you goes into this pot, and you pay that back with your $2 that you're supposed to get for every record sold, right?
Yeah,
But then they also got that profit section that's going up too, right? So if you sold 1,000,000 records, the label would get whatever they have from that $8. They'd get 1,000,000 times that. Then they'd get your $2 until you paid them back. Does that make sense?
oh, for sure. I mean,
Because
I don't.
essentially there's the loan, which you pay back, and then there's their profit side, which they keep as well.
And one of the things that, like I've seen it with some of my friends' bands is like, especially like, when you're new to this, you're wide eyed,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh man, they're gonna put me in this big studio in LA or in Nashville or in New York or Chicago or whatever. You know what I mean? You're going to this big studio, and you get swept away in this whole like, we're getting ready to make it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's in their best interest to spend as much money recording the record and as much money. They want to keep you in debt. That's the best thing they can do, is keep the band in debt.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
yeah, exactly.
and
Well, yeah, I mean they're going to make their money regardless for the
oh,
most
for
part as
sure.
long as you sell, like our label made money off that those records for sure.
Yeah. Well, and to me it's like, even the 500,000. Who's to say that they didn't go back and renegotiate like those like studio days? You know what I mean? They're telling you it's 1,000 a day or it's 2,000 a day.
Well, we had already had the record done, but yeah.
But like with the second album though,
Oh yeah, that was, well,
that's like,
that was all our management, right? Because our management producer were in the same bed,
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
so
Yeah.
there's a lot of,
In the same gated
literally in
community.
the same bed. There's a lot of like double dipping or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but then there's also that $2 are two separate things. There's the mechanical royalty, which is basically your performance, and then there's your publishing royal. But you can sell that publishing royal too. So there'll be another company will come around and they'll say, "We believe that this company is going that you're going to do well. So we want to pre-buy your publishing dollar, and
Yeah.
we'll give you our first publishing deal was 120 grand. We'll give you 120 grand, and now you got to pay that back with the dollar." And you won't see any of that publishing dollar because they advanced it. And then after, it's just a different story. After you pay it back, they make their profit. So, so publishing means that the people who wrote the song is essentially gets a section as well. So there's a lot of money going around, and all that money sounds like a lot, but the problem is that you got to pay your manager, you got to pay your publicist. Like your manager takes 20-30%. So any money that comes in, $100,000, 30,000 goes directly to them.
Yeah,
Then
it's
you got your publicist, whatever they take, your lawyer. Our lawyer on our record deal, our lawyer made 15 grand. When they negotiated the record deal, so not
well
too shabby.
pretty cool if you
Pretty
ask me.
cool.
Pretty cool.
And we actually asked the label to bump our deal by 15,000 so we could pay the lawyer that 15,000.
Yeah. And so I want to read a quote real quick. And this is Hunter S. Thompson. The music business is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs.
Is that Johnny Depp?
There's also a negative side.
Is that what it says?
Yeah. That's hilarious, dude. I love that quote.
If you could go back and like if the best way to if you could is get a record label who gets you popular and then get a way to get dropped by them. That would be the
Yeah, I mean,
ultimate.
and you're seeing that. You're seeing that with a lot of bands,
Well,
especially in like
Jared Leto or whatever, he had a big thing with his label, right?
yeah.
I'm surprised he even needed a label.
Yeah. He didn't really it didn't seem like he tried super hard to use his fame to make his music career happen.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I mean, he could have done more, I think.
And they're probably one of the better like actor bands out there, maybe even the
I don't
best.
think there's a better one. If you can think of one, tell me. I legitimately like 30 Seconds to Mars as a band and respect like him and his brother as musicians. They're both super good.
What about? Do you respect him as the leader of his own island?
I was curious if you were going to bring that up, and I want to say absolutely. That dude's living the dream. I got no hate in my heart. His success does not cost me a dime. So you get it, buddy.
So you're basically telling me you got tickets.
No, I don't have tickets, but what
You're
I'm
on the
saying
way.
is I'm not involved, but enjoy your time on the island, King. So real quick, distant watcher, I'm so glad he asked this question because this is something that like a lot of people on the post that I made yesterday asked. And that is like hypothetically, if we were interested in promoting you in whatever fashion as their preferred optimal method, any hypothetical fans could employ. So, um, number one, like I talked a little bit, I made a comment like on that post where I talked about reach. And so anyone who's watching that's curious like how this works, if you have like a band page or you have a professional Facebook page, you can look at your analytics. And for us, a band that has a following of almost 23,000 people, the average post has about 1,000 to 1,500 reach. So what reach means is it appears on your news feed. So for 22,000 or for 23,000 people, only 1,500 on average even get a chance to scroll past it. So the majority, like 90% of our fans, it's not even on their timeline. So they could scroll with their thumb for 2 miles through everything posted today, and our post will not even show up. Now, that's an average post. Now, what changes that is interaction. So when you guys drop a comment, when you guys react to it, whether it's a like, a heart, even if it's a mad or a laugh, whatever, any reaction that you make, any comment that you make, if it's a single emoji, I don't care if it's a turd emoji or a fire emoji, any comment, any reaction, and especially shares. So, like interacting with the post is going to make it appear in more fans' feeds. So it's why you start seeing exponential reaction. So like the post that we made yesterday, um, a lot of people like we had 22 people. Last time I looked at it, we had like 22 people share it. That's going to make it appear on more people's feeds that already follow us. Now, obviously, anyone that you're friends with that's following you is going to see your posts that you share, because personal, like personal stuff is more likely to show up. So if you have a friend post something versus a page that you follow, you're more likely to see your friend's post come up than you are like a page that you follow if you're not actively interacting with them, right? So that being said, there are also things that you can do. Like if you're on our Facebook page, for example, you can look at the top near our profile picture, and there'll be what looks kind of like a filing cabinet with a little check mark on it. If you click that check mark, you'll see that there's 3 selections, and you're probably defaulted into the middle. To the right, I believe, to the right is favorite. If you mark us as a favorite, then you're more likely to see all of our posts. So if you're asking, how can I see more of what you're doing? How can I help? Those are things you can do. Likewise with YouTube, and Distant Watcher again just commented this. So upvotes, like hitting the thumbs up, clicking the bell for subscribe, turn on your notifications. Like those things are going to help us. And again, this is stuff that doesn't cost. I'm not asking you to buy anything. You don't have to spend $1. Obviously word of mouth. Like if you have friends that are into rock music, and you're all riding around in the car and you play our music for them, say, hey, give these guys a follow, check them out. Again, I don't want to come off as like we're begging, right? If you don't like what we post, then don't like it. If you don't like what we've put out, don't share it. But if you do and you want to know, like, hey, how can I help? Those are things you can do to help. If your local radio station, it has like if you have a contact at a radio station and you can request our music, or if you're a part of the Octane Air Force, I think is what they call it, and you guys want to like we could get like a fan blitz where we figure out how we promote this. Look, I don't have the answers either. I know how to increase our social media presence, but as far as getting us on Octane or getting us on radio stations, I mean, that may be tough, because like I said, we don't have, like, it is a game. And like I've talked to people about it. It's a game that requires a lot of money to play. And like if you think these DJs are playing what they want to play, like that's not the case. I can assure you. Like there's a lot of money changing hands. That being said, there are people who make it that are able to break the barriers and break the mold. Like I'd love that to be us a lot, because again, like I don't
Well,
think any of us.
that was pretty much with Evans Blue. We got play because we had a connection, and we were on the radio like, before we got signed, and then after, obviously, then the game started. But I mean, yeah, it is possible, but you still have to have heavy connections. Um,
Yeah, and again, I mean, I don't think any of us have any like delusions of grandeur. Like I'm not looking to get rich playing music, and I don't care if I ever like make a bunch of money. I know that every time I turn around, we're getting Facebook messages and direct messages from people that want to know when we're going to play their town, or when you're going to play an Austin show, when you're going to play a Pennsylvania show, when are you going to play, this place or that place. And we'd love to, but part of what that requires is a certain level of following. And again, not trying to get rich, but it requires money. Like there's 5 of us and Kevin's Canadian. So that means flights, loading up gear and driving places. And I mean, it's gotta make sense to an extent, because, we can only afford to do so much out of our pockets, which is, I mean, the majority of what we're doing now is trying to, whether it's put out a video or, put together like a small little leg of a tour, or doing state by state. you know, I mean, you guys are great. Like I'm not remotely complaining, but I don't want you to think that, you know, your favorite band's going to grow out of control if we get a little bit bigger. It's going to do is allow us to, you know, to play more for you, to put out more music or, you know, work with who we want to work with and get what we want to get done. You know what I mean? So it's I think that's my soapbox for the night, but we'd love to play more for you guys. You know, I know Kevin and I both, we watched that Foo Fighters documentary about van tours, and I told him, you know, all that makes me want to do is get in a fucking van, man. I just want to get in a van and go play. And like I think that at the core of all of us is like that love of getting out in front of people and, you know, playing our instruments and singing, you know, and for y'all. It's it's what we live for. It's what I live for.
Yeah.
Yee. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we are trying to get some shirts and stuff, but I'm supposed to come to the U.S. on my flight's booked for July 8th, so once that happens, could probably do a bit more. Um, we're just waiting for our video files and stuff, and then start a new album hopefully later this year. We have a song actually coming out that we've had like a kind of like not a B side, but it's a song you've heard before, but sort of different. And anyway, that's hopefully going to be somewhat in the near future, something full electric. So
Yeah. Yeah. So there's been, I don't want to say a lot because I wouldn't say a lot, but there's been some criticism of the acoustic stuff coming out. And I mean, I get that it's taken longer to get state by state done because of the pandemic, but you know, I want to assure you guys we're not going soft. Acoustic music has always been a part of Parabel, and even before Parabel, Evans Blue did acoustic stuff too. So some of the comments that we got, I thought were kind of out of left field. Um,
well, the thing is about that is it's not keeping anything from happening.
yeah, and nor is it like if we didn't do that acoustic album, that would just be acoustic music you didn't have. It's
Yeah.
not costing an electric record. It's not like, you know what, we're gonna not put out heavy music because we're gonna do acoustic music. It's just like we like to do both.
Yeah, the way I would, if in an ideal world, if I was doing like a 2 or 3 year electric album span, I'd do something in the middle. I mean, that's how we've literally always done it. It's always been electric, then we do something different. And we've talked about doing like a completely not necessarily acoustic, but like completely different album as like a middle kind of thing. That's still full band but completely different style. So um, that's always something that we're gonna do.
Yeah, and also it's like, you know, this last 3 legs we did of state by state was that was the first time I've been involved in something like that, and I enjoyed it from like a challenge aspect of like, I mean, there were some days it was like we're gonna write and record 2 songs today that we have not a single note of music prepared for,
Yeah,
and that like as an artist or as a guitar player or as a vocalist or a whatever, it puts you in a, I mean, that's a high pressure situation for any of you guys who've ever, you know, created anything to say that like, all right, the schedule is we're going to write 2 songs, record them today, and then we're going to drive to the next state, get a motel, and then we're going to wake up in the morning and we're going to do it again. Like that's ambitious to say the least. And I mean, in my humble opinion. So, um, I think it's a good exercise in like pushing yourself.
thoughts on Trevor Kustiak? I mean, he's whatever. He's fine. He's good at what he does, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if you're the
Just
guy to ask that
just
to.
don't.
Don't leave your wallet lying around.
No, yeah, no. That's just make sure he's not married to your manager and then owns the studio and nah, it's whatever. Yeah, get money, get paid.
I mean, he's like obviously did a good job, right? He's a talented guy, but I don't
Yeah,
know if you're the guy to really be asking.
yeah.
Uh,
No, he's He definitely knows how to produce a song.
Yeah.
But there was a point, like in Evan's Blue, where we were talking about going elsewhere,
Yeah.
which
And
probably was part of.
your manager advised strongly
Yeah. Our
against
manager was like,
it.
"No, I don't think that's a good idea."
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's the best there is.
Yeah,
Although I think she changed her mind at some point.
yeah, I think so. No, I wanted to work with what's the dude that does Breaking Benjamin? He did Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Is it Corniff? Dan Corniff?
No, I don't think so.
Well, Dan did Phobia. No, not
It was the one before that.
He did Dear Agony.
It was the Diary of Jane one.
That's Phobia. Was that?
It's Bendith.
Oh, David Bendith.
Yeah, that's who it is. We called him and talked to him once, and he was like crazy expensive.
Yeah, dude. Some of those guys are. It's like I talked to who did I tell you I talked to? CLA, Chris Lord Algae.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's crazy expensive.
I'd like to. That would be where I would go next. After, I mean, I'd still do music, but I would definitely want to start doing some producing stuff. But I don't even know what that means anymore.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's a pretty tightly held secret, like what they're doing. Although I watched Dan Corniff do a live mix of Lights Out, that song off
You're
of,
talking about mixing, right?
but he produced it too, though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to mix. I definitely don't have that skill. But producing and mixing totally different.
Yeah.
Producing is
Yeah, you,
producing is just taking your crap songs and making them good.
which you're good at.
Well,
You could do that.
I definitely like doing that. It's just
Yeah.
like I've taken. I mean, remember we even did some of that with your bro.
Yeah, yeah. When we did that
It's like someone will send an idea, like even Kyle or if I wish I had. Well, I do have it, but I don't think I would ever play it. But the original take of um
is it Lifted?
no, the what's the one that sounds like
Oh,
bird, no, the
that's
other one.
Starry Eyes.
No,
Oh, Shattered.
yeah,
Shattered.
yeah, Shattered. The original Shattered is like a 21-minute long demo where they're just those guys are just. It sounds like total garbage because it's recorded on a phone, and those
Yeah.
guys are just
In
dicking
a
around all
warehouse,
over
right?
in a warehouse, and those guys are just kind of dicking around. There's if you heard the part where the riff was playing, I think literally everyone's playing in a different key and nobody knows what's going on. But yeah, you just kind of pick parts and make a cool song. But I heard that riff. The riff obviously is the money part, right?
Yeah.
It's just very and yeah, if you ever heard drums recorded on a phone, they just sound like
That
total
sounds so
trash.
bad. I mean, honestly, most drums don't sound good unless they're mic'd, gated, EQ'd.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like an acoustic drum set rarely sounds good by
yeah,
itself. Well, the drums can sound okay, but cymbals are always overpowering, and the kick drum never sounds like what a kick drum's supposed to sound like.
yeah. It's unless you get triggers on there.
Yeah, but yeah, dude.
Howard used triggers for a while.
Yeah,
They sound good.
he had a blend. Like, so he used acoustic, he used a mic and a D drum trigger
Yeah.
into a TD-20. Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, it sounds good, and if obviously your tone is always going to be solid because it doesn't matter how hard you hit the bass drum, it's always going to have
Yeah,
good
it's like
triggers.
it's like on or off.
So some people say that that's cheating, but when it's a live show, you just want it to sound as good as possible. So
Yeah, that's good for double bass too, because like you said, it evens out the.
what's this?
Did you see that? I didn't.
Mm,
The shooting in Arvada. That's terrible. I love Colorado, by the way, Adam. Love Colorado. I
yeah, Colorado's cool. I did my solo. Some of my solo worked on it. That literally none of the songs made it. But we were in a cabin in the middle of the woods. It was really cool.
where were you?
Do you know where the Garden of Gods is? Manitou something.
Yeah.
Manitou or something like that.
So yeah, my this last season, I'm looking at my stats right now on Epic Mix. This last season, I spent. Oh man, got to sign back in. Man, think it's like 21 days on the mountain between. Let's see here. What was it? Yeah, season. Yeah, 20 days on the mountain for a Texan. It's pretty good, I think. Between Breck, Keystone, and Copper Mountain, I absolutely love Colorado. It's probably
So
my favorite place in the world.
the citizen who shot the criminal guy also was killed by the police.
What?
Yeah, I mean I don't know if he died, but he got shot.
Oh man, that I didn't even see that.
You guys and your guns, man. Got them guns everywhere.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good picture of you holding one of my guns.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get shot. I remember when I got picked up from Kyle in the airport. He had like 3 guns in the back.
Yeah, you
I'm
were
like, "Are
pretty
you allowed
nervous
to
about
just
that.
have these? They just have these sitting here." He's like, "Oh yeah, whatever."
Dude, I remember you took my truck
Yeah,
one time.
I took your truck and you had your gun in there, and I'm like, "Man, if I get pulled over, I'm gonna get
You called me. You're
busted."
like, "Hey, are there any guns in here?" And I was like, "No." Oh, yeah. I think there's at least one.
Yeah, I don't even know what would happen if I got pulled over driving someone else's car with a gun in it.
It probably wouldn't be like the best thing.
No, I'd be done for.
He's coming right for us.
Yeah, yeah. So I can get my wallet, man.
Right. I'm just gonna grab.
I've been pulled over in middle of nowhere, Texas once. I was pulled over in Virginia once. I've been pulled over in between Dallas and Houston on the big high 45 once.
Yeah.
Um,
You've pulled over more than I have.
yeah, no, well, the one on the 45 was garbage because the speed limit like drops
Oh,
for a
dude,
little
they're so
shorter
bad
run.
about that here.
And then Virginia, yeah, there's just speeding. Everything's speeding.
Yeah.
I got pulled over on the first state by state too, and like where were we? Wyoming or something.
Yeah.
One time we got pulled over and the cops knew our band, so they came on the RV and were super cool.
Oh, dude, Adam Blankenship, one of my buddies. I forgot about this. We were in Oklahoma, weren't we, Adam? I think we were in Oklahoma. Or were we Kansas, maybe? I think we were actually, it was Kansas. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm flying, and the state trooper pulls me over. And I mean, this is like, we're talking fully starched and pressed, and he's got the straight brim state trooper hat on. And he comes up, asks me how fast I was going. I'm like, I don't know, man. I know I was flying though. We're coming back from. I was on a hunt with a customer, and he's like, I can't remember how he put it, but something along the lines of like, I'm gonna let you go with a warning. And I asked him, how fast was I going? And as he's walking away, he just looks back, goes, too fast.
That's funny.
I still don't know how fast I was going.
We um yeah, Kevin Wright said about playing Scrabble. Yeah, our band almost broke up over Scrabble.
Oh, over whether it was a legal word.
Yeah, and
Do you remember the word?
I sure do. It was the New Mexico has a symbol. If you know what I'm talking about, it's like
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
little cross. So Geo played that, what it's called, which is Zia, which would not count in Scrabble. And I said that doesn't count. And it just devolved into like everyone was just like, I hate you. Everyone just started turning on everybody. So like, you always got to be right. You always gotta be.
It's like,
I'm like, you're always. Why don't you just want to play by the rules? Like, it's
it's
not my
like,
fault. Those are the
it's like,
rules.
I'm glad this came up because I've always hated you.
Yeah, dude, it's hilarious. Dude, there was another funny time when we were touring with. This was back in the Tim era,
Yeah.
and Tim had lent some money I might have told this before, but anyway, Tim lent some money to a drummer who we never ended up using, and I'm like, why did you give him money? He's like, because he wanted to buy cymbals. I'm like, he's not. We don't even know if he's gonna be the drummer,
Yeah.
and he was crap. So I'm like, and so Gio and I are spending all our money on the tour. Like we're funding everything. Tim and Miles aren't funding anything because they don't have any money. So, and anytime they would get money, they'd spend it on stupid stuff. They wouldn't actually contribute to anything. And
Yeah.
so, which was fine. It's whatever. But we're driving and we're like so beaten down, or the tour just took everything out of us. And Tim's just every day he's like, I need to get my $60 back. Like, dude, I've spent hundreds on this tour so far. And one day Chris just snapped and he turned around and he was driving and he turned around and looked at Tim and he said something like he was gonna totally beat his ass. Tim got so friggin' it went dead silent.
You just got quiet.
Like it wasn't like a joke, I'm gonna kick your ass. It was like a complete, I'm gonna kill you. Oh man, it was hilarious.
Dude.
I think I broke the silence saying something really stupid, but Tim was like so upset.
Yeah.
It was
I don't know
so
why you got to
funny.
be violent.
It was so funny.
Dude, that's so funny. Dude, so much shit like that happens when you get like in that
Oh
close of a
yeah.
quarters.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's either like
And we had literally went through probably 3 vehicles that broke down
yeah.
throughout this whole tour. We were on our third vehicle at the time, which was the worst one because it was the least comfortable.
Yeah.
But man,
Dude,
good
we
times.
went on this. I don't know if I ever told you about this, but I was in this band. We were gonna go play this show in New York, and it was like that was pretty much the whole point was we were like going up to um this resort up in upstate New York and playing like these series of shows at this. It was a really small little bar that used to be like a train station, like switch track, whatever area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a tiny little place, but like it's got some cool history. Like the Stones have like hung out there and like showed up and just played impromptu shows back in the day. Like there's no reason why they would play there other than they like this cool little town. It's called Ellicottville. It's
Oh
spelled
yeah,
like
yeah.
Elliot
It's
Cottville.
like a ski place, is it
Yeah,
not?
yeah. So you've been there, or you're
I've driven through it.
yeah. It's a cool little town, right? So we've got this.
It's like a trendy town.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, as far as skiing goes, it's pretty garbage. But uh, I mean, when you've grown up going to Colorado, it's on par with like an indoor ski resort. Like it's a hill, not a mountain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, we were gonna take this coach up there, and the plan was we were gonna leave. Like we all had jobs, so we were leaving at like 5 o'clock on like a Thursday, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the bass player took off that day, and so like he goes to the RV or whatever at like 9 o'clock in the morning and starts drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just pounding beers. So when we all get off work and we get there, he is slam hammered, like can barely talk. And it's like one thing after another. So we're not even out of Houston and the bus starts to overheat. And like I have a bit of a mechanical background and have like a shop that I work at. So I'm like pulled over and we're like trying to check out and see is the fan clutch engaging? Like, is the fan coming on? Is it low on coolant? Like, what's going on? And he's like sitting there over our shoulder the whole time. Like, let's call this number. Let's call this number. I work at the dealership that it would be going to. So like, I don't need you to call the number because they're just going to turn around and call me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Eventually he had one of those geo talks of if you don't sit down and shut up, we're going to beat the shit out of you. And this isn't a joke.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, when it's rough and you're tired and everything, it's brutal. But I mean, that's why if you love doing music, you put up with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it can be torture. I'm checking. I'm gonna just check the old Facebook just to see if we're getting, because sometimes I'll go back and look and see stuff I never saw in the actual chat.
Yeah, I tried to pull it up and it
Oh,
was
it's all
like
just like a weird, stupid.
it's
Yeah,
saying having trouble playing this video online.
yeah,
I don't know. Don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Let me see. I did some notes. Where's my notes? Um, I'm trying. Did all this. Oh, I made no notes. Chip, never mind.
You made no
I
notes.
got no notes about nothing.
Oh man.
My only note is Air Force One was a dumb movie, but I think we talked about that last week.
Get off my plane.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we did.
Wait, I think did we talk about? I think you and I just talked about that. I don't know if we talked about it on a stream.
I don't remember. I gotta put the streams up on the old on a podcast or something.
Yeah,
It's just so much stuff to edit. But I think we're getting to where we don't necessarily need to edit as much.
yeah.
We're getting turning into professional. We're like two Joe Rogans.
We're pretty good,
We're
man.
two Joe Rogans and
Bro Rogan.
a we get Bro Rogan. We're Ro
Bro, Ro,
Jogans. We're
Ro
two Ro
Brogan.
Jogans.
We just need to get Elon Musk on here, and
Yeah.
sky's the limit.
And we need to make our own cryptocurrency while we're at it. Get him to push it. Chip coin.
Oh, we did mention Air Force One
Yeah,
in
I
the
think we
previous
did.
stream. I couldn't remember. Oh yeah, dude, I would be down with starting our own crypto. Paracoin.
Dude, I don't even understand crypto
That's
at
the
all.
idea. No one does.
Kyle's all into it, and I'm like, dude, but how? What gives it value? And he's like, he didn't know. I'm like,
Right.
but
Every
why is
time
it
someone
worth anything?
it yeah, no one knows because someone else decides. It's like, why is a baseball card worth anything?
I
Because
know,
someone else will pay for it.
but at least with a baseball card, you have something tangible. So it's like,
Oh no, dude, believe me, I'm right there with you. This is nothing more than a virtual baseball card, in my opinion. But
well, that's what those NFGs were or whatever too. Eh?
yeah,
That kind of dropped off.
yeah.
That was a big thing for about a week.
And then
And then people realized, oh, I can just go get the picture on Google for free.
yeah, dude. So the thing that gets me, not to get off, and because again, so I'm gonna upset somebody. Uh, but the thing that gets me is when people start talking about, oh, it's the blockchain technology. It's the blockchain. So that's what it's all about, the blockchain technology. And it's
Yeah, I
like,
don't even know what that is.
well, I can help. First of all, and someone is welcome to correct me here. I'm not going to make this about crypto because I'm not really like, I don't really want to go into it. But
Mm-hmm.
in my humble opinion, the blockchain technology seems to be trash, because if you notice any day that trading gets really heavy, it's like crazy delayed. Like, according to a quick Google search, blockchain technology, Bitcoin blockchain technology can currently guarantee only 4.6 transactions per second. 4.6 transactions per second. So that's the technology. You know what Visa does? Visa does 1,700 transactions per second.
Yeah.
So why would anybody invest in a shitcoin because of the blockchain technology? Now, I think in Distant Watcher, he's the one who's nailed it. It's great for money laundering. Absolutely. I think every one of these like ransomware attacks want to be paid in a crypto. Like when they shut down the oil pipeline, or when they try to like poison somebody's water supply, or all this, like the meat processing plant that got shut down from ransomware hackers, they want to get paid in crypto.
Huh. Maybe I should get into the money laundering game. Chip.
Right. I got a
I
washing
probably need
machine,
money and someone else's money.
right? And a way to launder it. And I'm in business.
Or maybe like a mule. I just got to be a gray man. I'll just be a gray man mule. That could be my business.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, you want me to take this stuff? No questions asked.
Yeah.
I'm your man.
Oh, wait. You want some of it back? I spent it on symbols.
Yeah, those are these are IOUs.
Hey, every dollar's accounted for.
You don't want to hold on to this one.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to get into crypto, man. Like I just feel like the rug's gonna get pulled any second, and it's gonna be like you're a bunch of bag holders.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But I mean, I may continue to be proven wrong. I've certainly been wrong for the last several years. When it was at like 11,000 a coin several years ago, I told one of my friends, dude, I would sell every coin I had if I were you. It'll never be this high again. And then it went up to 60,000 a month ago.
That's crazy.
It's half that now, but I mean, still, it's like over $30,000 a coin. It's insane.
But the thing that doesn't make sense is like
All
Bitcoin
of
is
it.
the main. Yeah, Bitcoin is the thing, and then people have those Bitcoin mining computers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What is that doing? I don't get it. Did
I don't
someone
know.
just sprinkle Bitcoin somewhere?
Yeah, they're mining
Mining what though? It makes no
Bitcoin.
sense.
They're
Where?
mining. It's like
It's
this.
like that
It's like
Spaceballs
this.
scene where they're like, what time is that? When is the shot? He's like, that's now. Well, when was that? Is that was then?
Well, no, they're mining for Bitcoin. See, what you don't understand is every transaction 0.2 cents. So then, and so they mine a transaction and it's 0.2 cents, and then someone runs credit card 0.2 cents. They make a phone call. I get 0.2 cents.
That's crazy. um, that episode is kind of a play on a British Office too. You know when Kevin runs in
Oh,
and
and
he's
he does the
all out of
laps.
shape. That's from
Think big.
that's from the
The
British Office.
biggest, the
And then
biggest you
double it.
can,
Double
and
it.
then double it.
Yeah, that was from the original one too.
That's super fun. I never made it through the original, like the British Office.
The original is like you really gotta.
It's pretty dry. I mean,
Yeah, I like the original too. It's pretty funny.
do you like it as much?
I've watched it. No, I mean, definitely haven't watched it as much. I've probably watched it like 3 times. It's short though.
Really?
There's only a few seasons.
Where would you say it starts to diverge?
Probably like the second or third. The first episode.
Oh, really?
The first episode's the same.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Well, I've seen the first
And
episode
there's
of
a
the
lot
British
of
one.
there's like office stuff that happens that is sprinkled from the British Office.
Comedy is where the mind goes to tickle itself.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah. No, I think if you can get into the British Office, it's pretty funny. But yeah, you gotta get it. It's way more like I guess cringe or whatever. It really heavy on the cringe.
Yeah, I think I remember like hearing or reading something about how they felt like they had to pivot the Michael Scott, like the manager character.
Well, the British one, it does end somewhat positive.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like they don't ever really show him. I haven't seen it, so you're gonna have to confirm or deny this, but they don't ever really show David Brent being like really good at any part of his job, do they?
Yeah, I don't think so.
See, because like I remember him saying something, Ricky Gervais, about how like in Britain it was fine for him to be like this wacky, cringy character. But in the US, because of like, you know, like the work ethic or the just our culture of like not being like not having anything redeeming about his job performance made him almost impossible to relate to or
Yeah.
to like work with. So they felt like that's why when you see like towards the end of the first season or the second season, they show that like he's actually a brilliant salesperson.
Yeah.
And that's like a recurring theme is that like although he's a bumbling idiot, like he's actually a very talented salesman. And they felt like they had to throw that in because just like, you know, American like culture is like, you know, work till you die. Everything about like a man's value in the American culture is his ability to provide. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
He's like a good example of how you just instead of firing a bad or a goofy employee, they just keep them going up and up the chain.
Yeah.
There's nowhere
But
else
again
for
though,
them to
like
go.
based off of a singular talent,
Yeah.
right? He was a good salesperson. That's why he got his job, but he's a horrible manager.
Yeah.
I mean, however good he may end up being. But I always thought that was interesting that they felt like they had to like give him some sort of redeemable quality with regard to job performance, because he like that people just they couldn't jive with him being a manager and having no skill.
Yeah. I can't remember if he's bad at his. I mean, he is, but yeah, I don't know. I
It's in the
haven't
old
watched.
round file.
I haven't watched it in a while. It's actually he did. They made a movie because when the British Office ends, he wants to start his music career, and so they made a movie of that part. It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
So,
So that
you drinking that Dasani?
I don't get it. It's just water.
Does anyone out in the chat like that kind of water, or do you think it's gross like I do? Actually, not just me. When Evans Blue, our rider said water, but no Dasani because nobody in the band liked it.
I'm not that picky about water. The only water that I don't like is Poland Springs. That's like the nastiest water I've ever had. And it's super popular in the Northeast, especially New York City. You have a hard time finding non-Poland Springs in New York City.
Yeah, the only water I can drink in the U.S.A. is the old Evian.
Evian.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
only one
know.
that tastes like Canadian water to me.
Yeah. I got to pick up like a bottle of Evian on the way to the airport. I
And
always have.
it's not even that it's the brand or whatever, because it sounds like it's some pretentious brand, but it's just it tastes as close to what the water here tastes like.
Yeah. You're not used to the freedom. See? Because
Well,
this
I think
is.
it's the freedom to put anything in the water that it's it's
Yeah,
like
probably.
there's water and then there's who knows what else.
Well, I mean, it was funny to me that you um hate it so bad, and I had never it was kind of foreign to me that I didn't know people hated it. And then you sent me that Saturday Night Live, which dude, that was so funny. I don't understand. It's just water.
What's that Parks and Rec where they're like talking about water and it's like even the water doesn't have the sugar in it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
sweeter.
Sweetums water.
Yeah, you're gonna want a
How?
water zero.
Yeah, it's 50% less sugar. It's water. Oh, you're looking for water zero.
I think I could do when I get down there. I think we could do a blind water taste test. I think I could. I think I could put them where they need to go.
Yeah, yeah. Every time I go to pick Kevin up from the airport, I stop at the gas station, get a big thing of Evian, so he can, because he's my little diva.
That's my only diva thing.
Super funny.
Yeah, that and the Rockstar Punch Zero, which can be hard to find.
It's getting harder to find, I feel like.
Here it's fine, but yeah, I find when I go there, it's tough to find it for a good price.
Yeah, I mean you can't. Well, you can, but not at these prices.
I'm not gonna pay $3 for a can when I can get 2 for $3 at another place, Chip. That's insanity.
Right. Yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, I mean you can, but not at these prices. So speaking of The Office, you mentioned today is Mindy Kaling's.
Yeah.
Which is funny because was it 2 weeks ago?
2 or 3, yeah. It was...
Yeah, a few streams ago. Apparently we're like lining up with some Office cast member birthdays.
Yeah,
and I didn't know until today, so I didn't have time to prepare my favorite Kelly Kapoor moments, but I can think of some off the top of my head if you have any.
I mean, yeah, there's some good stuff. I like the one where I can't think of it. You go ahead with.
All right. Well, for me, one of my favorites is when she's like, "I'm trying out some different marketing." Kelly Kapoor, the business bitch. Kelly Kapoor, the fashion bitch.
I like the one where she's with Ryan and Ryan's the boss.
Yeah.
He's like, "Is there any questions?" She's like, "I have a question. How dare you?"
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorites.
Or the one, well, I'm pregnant and I'm keeping it, and then it flashes to the talking head.
Yeah.
or the, it's gotten to the point where I pretty much have to threaten to kill myself or no one listens to me.
Yeah. I like the one where she breaks up with Daryl and he's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, it's cool. He says it's cool.
He did? He's not mad? Dude,
And he's like, you need to access your uncrazy side.
what kind of game is that?
Yeah, just says what he means.
What kind of game is that?
Oh man.
The other one that I was
I think
thinking of. Oh, when she's that episode where they're doing the like the 0.2 cents and Kevin runs in and does the motivational.
yeah.
She goes in, but who better? I could tell you about the 10 secrets, but
Yeah.
wouldn't it be better? The adjunct professor of business from Harvard.
Yeah. And
And
he's
so
like,
she
well,
calls him.
there's not really seven.
Yeah. Come on, professor. It's me. Okay. Know your market. Define your competition.
I think she writes some of the episodes
Oh,
too.
she wrote a lot of it, I think. I think she wrote a lot of it.
I remember her from she was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. That's where I saw her first.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
I saw the theater and laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah.
Never heard of anybody in that movie when it came out. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Was that before that wasn't before The Office, was it?
I think it was, but I don't think I had seen The Office.
I know I hadn't. I saw that before The Office. I didn't
So
see The
it's-
Office until fairly recently.
I think I started watching The Office around like season 6, but I still didn't watch it real time because I've never really had cable. I just buy the, but when I would buy the DVDs, I would just watch them on repeat.
Yeah.
That'd be all I would watch.
What
40. Are you looking up when that came out?
2005? Is that right?
Yeah,
I'm looking it up.
It came out.
Yeah.
No, it came out 2005. Really? Seems. I thought I saw that like the weekend that all the EB garbage went down, which would have been 2008. Maybe I saw something else. Oh no, I saw Step Brothers that weekend.
Yeah.
Another great comedy.
I talk a lot, so I've learned to tune myself out.
Okay, yeah, July, yeah. Step Bros.
Did you find out from a social media post? Isn't that what you told me?
No, I found out because they changed the login to MySpace, and then I never heard from anybody again.
Good God, dude.
I know, that's insane.
Gotta love it.
It's
Gotta
like,
love it.
We don't need to worry about money, so we just won't give them any money.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that payback for all my contributions to your band, which I named
Right.
and wrote the songs.
Yeah. No, that's insane.
Thanks for the $0.
Yeah. But hey, tax free though.
Yeah,
There's
tax
no
free.
tax liability. And that,
That's
my
true.
friend, is
They probably
good.
paid me
Because,
in some kind of crypto that doesn't exist.
dude,
Back in 2008.
that'd be good if they did.
Yeah.
It'd be worth. It's like, did you hear like the story of someone who, paid for pizza with Bitcoin back in 2009 or whatever? It's like
No.
the world's most expensive pizza, worth like $16 million.
Yeah, but how would you have paid for that with that?
Like they gave an individual who paid for the pizza Bitcoin to pay for it.
It's weird, man.
Yeah. But like probably neither one of them still have the password to log into it. Like there's been more millions of dollars lost from people who can't get into their, crypto wallet or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's insane. Stories all the time.
There's no forgot my password.
Oh, there's no forgot my password. Yeah.
Dude, forgot my password. How many passwords do you have?
Bro, this is a New York Times article from this year. Of the existing, let's see here. Where is it? There's one person who is locked out and has 2 guesses left to figure out their password worth $220 million.
That sucks.
But Yeah, exactly. But this, according to this New York Times article, of the 18.5 million Bitcoins, approximately 20% appear to be lost or otherwise stranded in wallets. That's
Yeah, but
$140 billion worth
who who
of
decides
shitcoin.
who decides there's 18 million or whatever bitcoins?
It's a finite amount. Bitcoin has a market, has a cap. It supposedly there
So
aren't.
like George Bitcoin,
Yeah,
George Bitcoin,
Bitcoinius.
Bitcoinist
Yeah,
started his Bitcoin company. He said, "I'm going to make 18 million Bitcoins,
18 and a half
18.5 million Bitcoins, and then I'm going
billion.
to billion,
Let me look again. Yeah.
and I'm
No,
going
no, no.
to
You're
have
right. You're
them,
right. You're right. You're right. 18.5 million. I'm sorry.
and I'm going
But,
to have some kind of system where you can't do forgot my password."
well, that's not, I don't know, dude. I don't,
It's weird, man. This
fuck
is
it, man. Let's move on.
yeah, fucking
This shit
Bitcoin.
makes zero sense to me.
George Bitcoin, Bitcoinius,
The third
the third, started with a small loan from his dad,
of
Jeffrey
18.5 million
Jeffrey
Bitcoins.
Bitcoinius.
Yeah. Bitcoin Jr. loaned him the
Bitcoinius
Bitcoins.
Jr.
Fortunately, they all fit on one hard drive,
That's what we should have been doing, Chip. We should have made up our own.
right? What's the internet name for a cat?
What's the internet name for a cat?
Yeah, they call dogs Doge, right? So we
Oh,
need like a kitty coin,
Mew.
meow coin, mew coin,
What's the snake?
uh, slithery boy,
No, they call it something.
danger stick.
Snack?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm out of the internet loop, man.
Yeah, I'd have to ask one of my kids.
I'm very old.
They keep me up
I'm
to
old
date.
man.
Snack. It is
Yeah, yeah,
snack.
snack.
Snack
Yeah,
coin. We need
yeah.
to
You
start a
boop.
snack
You gotta
coin.
boop the snack.
Who's in? Danger noodle. Danger noodle coin.
Yeah, there you go. Put
All
it on the
right.
market, Chip.
Yeah, we're gonna
We got
pump
5
and
million of
dump.
them.
Yeah. There'll never
And
be any more. Get them while you can.
yeah, and they're
It's
worth.
finite. Therefore, rarity equals inherent value.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um, yeah, no, it's what a crazy, crazy world, Chip.
It is a crazy world, my friend.
I'm like an old man about it, but I don't really get too upset about it. I'm just
You don't
very
shake your fist
confused.
and
I'm
yell at
very
it and tell it to
confused
stay
about
off your
all of
yard.
it. Yeah.
Keep those bitcoins off my yard.
And like TikTok, man. Some TikTok's funny. What I don't get is the people that just lip sync and
And
have like
dance. Like
8 billion views. Yeah, like the highest TikToker, all she does is dances
yeah.
and lip syncs,
It's
and people love it for some reason. They get
dude, have you seen the TikTok house?
yeah. I just saw like a thing. I saw. Did you see that on Facebook
Yeah.
where the guy's talking about it and
Yeah.
how much he hates everything? He said,
Yeah, it's
dude, the
dude, it's
part where the dudes are in their underwear and they're lip syncing is so ridiculous.
uh,
How did this become the entertainment?
I don't know, man.
Are your kids on there? Like, do they
Not I
like
mean
that?
they watch, or I know they watch it.
So, do your kids have like people that they like celebrities that they love that are just random people? Like, are they like
Yeah, I mean they
who's
did for sure. Like so,
who's that JoJo Siwa, that kind of
I
vibe?
don't know who that is. My son loves Mr. Beast,
Oh
uh,
yeah, Mr. Beast. He's
and
like Ninja
I don't know
or
about that.
PewDiePie.
No, they don't like, but Stampy, the which he's like come and gone, but years ago when they were like all into the mine, I mean that's probably been 4 or 5 years ago, but when they were all in on Minecraft, they loved Stampy. And so yeah, I'm trying to be a good dad. Like, what are you watching? I'll watch it with you. I can't get through it. He's so obnoxious. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
they,
can't get through that kind of stuff because they'll just scream and
yeah,
overreact on everything.
yeah.
I can handle like kids shows,
Yeah.
like a Teen Titans Go or like
Oh, I love Teen Titans Go.
that kind
That
of
show's
thing.
hilarious.
But man, I can't get through these kid YouTubers. They're not even kids; they're people our age,
Yeah.
just acting like
So
whatever.
it's like Stevie T. Do you know who Stevie T is?
The guitar player?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, so let me start by saying, mad respect for the guy's skills. Like, he's an
yeah.
amazing, like, he's super,
He's the
super
worst.
tech. Yeah, he's super technically gifted guitar player. But I don't know that I'd want to see anybody get punched in the face more than Stevie T.
Well, do you know about this? Is what I used to subscribe to him for a short time, and he would do these videos where he'd watch people do like solos and he'd like kind of trash on them.
Yeah.
And then he got offered to play bass for that band, right?
I don't.
Dragon.
Oh, the Herman Lee
Yeah,
Dragon Force.
yeah. They asked him to play bass, and he wouldn't. He didn't do it. He said he would have too much anxiety. And I'm like, so you're gonna trash people on the internet in your videos,
But you
and
don't have
then
the nuts
you
to get
won't.
on
You
stage.
don't have the like. You have whatever issue you have to where you're not gonna go play shows. Literally, like somebody would kill for that opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't care if you're not going to do it, but don't make videos where you're trashing other people who are on stage playing.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
some
care
of
how
those.
bad they're playing.
Yeah. I mean, some of it I get because, like, for example, like the Little Wayne guitar solo,
Yeah, well,
I saw the
yeah,
video he did on that, and that's like offensive because, like, I remember seeing one of his videos where Lil Wayne's like blowing his own horn, which talented rapper. If you're into that sort of thing, he's obviously had a lot of success, but that doesn't, just because you're like really successful doesn't mean you can put a guitar on without ever learning how to play it.
it's super
and
weird.
and then 2 years later be like, yeah, I got the guitar, learned that motherfucker, and then I did this. And it's like, no, you didn't learn how to play the guitar. That was
Yeah,
garbage, dude. Like, that solo that he plays on that green, I think it was an Ernie Ball guitar, but it's absolutely terrible. But other than that, I agree with you. Like, I don't want to say I can't stand, but it aggravates me when people are critical of a live performance when everybody has bad days. Like,
yeah.
everybody has, whether it's like you don't know if someone's like not feeling well, or maybe their guitar went out of tune and they can't hear themselves, because you can't always hear yourself on stage.
Did you say that he was playing an Ernie Ball guitar?
I thought he was.
Nah, it looks like he's playing because I wanted to look because those Ernie Ball. Or wait, maybe it's a Gretsch.
Is it?
I like those Ernie Ball guitars though. The ones that have the four tuning pegs on one side, two on the other.
Yeah. No,
That's
you're
a
right.
cool. That's a
I,
cool
for
look.
whatever reason, I thought he was playing one of those, like, is it St. Vincent that has that weird looking Ernie Ball guitar?
This Gretsch kind of looks like that old Washburn. Did you ever see those Washburns that are like that have that kind of swoop like that? Does Washburn even make guitars anymore?
I think so.
Anyway, yeah, no,
But yeah.
it's whatever. I mean, there's obviously fail stuff, but it's just weird when you're gonna say that kind of stuff, but then you have the opportunity, you don't do it.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
weird to me.
put yourself out there. 'Cause
It's like,
again, it can be aggravating,
dude, how can you give up an opportunity like that?
right?
I mean, if you play guitar, I mean, yeah, it's bass, but still, you're playing bass for a
Dude,
fairly big band.
it's how I got in this band, was playing bass.
Yeah. Next, next thing you know, Herman Lee's he's out of the band,
Yeah.
and Stevie T is the new guy.
He's so obnoxious.
He's, usually I didn't mind him for a while, but yeah, he gets super obnoxious.
Yeah. Have you seen that guy that does those, like, he's like obviously got an axe to grind with some of these people, but he does like these like exposed videos, and he does one on Stevie T and
No, but yeah, I do see videos like that.
yeah.
YouTube's so weird for that. I mean, I love YouTube, obviously. It's like my jam, but
Yeah.
there's like that drama side that's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, he just talks about how shamelessly Stevie like markets stuff to kids, and like does sponsored content that's like him pushing like some of these products, and like
I thought you weren't
obvious.
allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's it's his point. And
Oh,
then it's like clearly marketed towards children with like how he does, like, I mean, he's even done some where he's dressed up like a Teletubby.
Do you ever go on a video for like a product and then you read the comments and they're just like, "This is obviously a sponsored ad," and they get so mad about it? Don't you think that's weird to be mad? That's like, do you buy something by watching one video of a guy saying how good or bad it is?
No.
No, it's so strange that it's weird, man.
I mean, I pretty like religiously research stuff that I buy.
Oh, dude, I'll watch like 50 videos
Yeah.
and read like every negative review on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, I'll psych myself out on
Yeah,
that.
no, I psych myself out on more
Like
stuff than I do.
3,999 5-star reviews, and one person's like,
It's always
"This
the
thing
negative
came in."
review that's first.
Yeah. What's that?
It's always the negative reviews that are the first ones. For
Well, I
some
click
reason.
on the most critical. Like,
I do that
read.
too. Yeah.
I want to read the bad
A
reviews.
lot of the times it's just the person has no clue what they're doing,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I've had things where I'm like, yeah, I really want this, and then I see the negative, I'm like, no, nope.
Yeah.
Even though it's like 4.75 stars,
Yeah.
4,000 reviews.
Yeah. It takes like one to drop that seed of doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know, man.
Like,
Maybe all these were paid.
yeah, paid shills.
Yeah. Dude. So funny.
Chip, you want to go do I got that 510 fitting.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, let me get this going. All right, 2016. This is movies and music that came out 5 years ago. This week of June. First and only CD that came out that I think you have and are a big fan of. Corey Feldman, Angelic to the Core.
Dude, this CD changed my life.
Yeah, we should probably do an episode on it.
Yeah. I
We're
have
both
like a
super fans.
how do I do it? Raise 2 kids, work a full-time job, and record an entire Corey Feldman cover album on my own label. If I knew, I'd tell you.
Have you listened to any of it?
No, I didn't realize Corey Feldman made music.
Wait a minute. So you don't know anything about it?
No.
Oh, dude. You got to check that out at some point.
Are you for real?
Dude, that he was on like a show and they had like he actually played the guy who used to book us at what's the place in Houston? House of Blues? Is there a House of Blues there?
Yeah. I think I met you at the House of Blues.
Yeah, they booked Corey Feldman to
Yeah.
play. You got to see this, Chip. I mean, after this stream, man, you got to get on that.
Like, I drop the bullshit. What's the deal?
What about Corey Feldman?
Yeah, is he good? Is he talented, or is it a train wreck?
Well, I don't want to say what it is.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I think I'll find.
Should I look at a live show, or should I just check out?
You should look at the performance.
Which is there a particular one or any of them?
I'm gonna. Oh, it'll be the one. It'll be the main one.
Okay.
Oh, it's on today. Whatever today, like
the Today Show?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what it is.
Good Morning America or something?
I'm gonna get you this link.
Dude, it's the first result. Well, Corey Feldman Today performance. This one where he's in a. Oh my god, this looks amazing.
You're gonna want the second one. That go for it, Chip.
Dude, I almost want to pause the stream and come back in 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
I don't know if you even need that long.
Oh no, I think you need every second of it.
You might get hooked before that.
Yeah, I may need 6 minutes and 38 seconds because I may want to just watch it twice.
Dude, all this is ridiculous or whatever, but then there's like a video that was his birthday party, and they made it seem like it was an impromptu, like, we're gonna get you to play on your birthday, and he's all like pretending to be reluctant.
He's like, oh my god, Scott. It's so like not prepared.
Scott getting roasted level of. But anyway,
it's like, oh my god, what if they asked me to do Faith?
Yeah,
so unprepared.
So that was the only CD, and you're gonna check that out. And then the only movie was The Shallows. Did you ever see that? Shark. It's a shark movie.
No, I haven't even heard of it.
The Shark Ate Me.
Mm-mm.
Samuel L. Jackson beer.
Samuel L. Jackson. It tastes good. It gets you drunk. You might even fight him or two.
Oh, shit. Oh man, yeah, that one. All right,
Dude.
that's one of my favorite sketches of his.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
that is heat
He
though. The
be
first time
dropping
I
that
saw
that
that,
mofo left and right.
first time I saw that, I laughed so hard.
Dude, dude's night out.
All right, 2011. We got August Burns Red Leveler. You ever listen to them?
No, I mean I've
I've heard the name, but I don't know
yeah,
anything.
I've heard the name too. I don't think I've ever listened to him though.
Simple Plan, Get Your Heart On.
Not really a Simple Plan
No,
fan.
I'm not a Simple Plan fan. Suck, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Taking Back Sunday, self-titled. I like Taking Back Sunday.
I saw them live, but just because they were at a festival. I mean, I wasn't a
Yeah,
huge fan of that sound at the time, but I think I like it better now.
yeah. No, it's I know the first two or I think I have the first three records of theirs. I was a big fan of it anyway. And then the only move. Oh wait, one more. Limp Bizkit, Gold Cobra.
I never listened to that. I think
Yeah,
I've heard a song off of it, but
yeah. No,
like,
I think because we talked about Limp Bizkit once before, and I think that one's actually a little more back to the roots, maybe, or was that the one? That might be when Wes
whoop,
came back.
yeah, we'd have to get Kyle in on this. He's our
Yeah,
resident
Kylan.
Limp Biscuit expert.
Yeah, no. And then the only movie was Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Dude, they all run together, bro.
I mean, they're all kind of crappy.
The first one was good,
Dude, I
I
like the
thought.
first one up until one of the Transformers stepped on some like the garden and said "my bad," and then I was out.
Yeah, done. Hate it.
Yeah,
Hate it.
it's probably the best out of all those ones, but
Yeah.
honestly, the best Transformers movie is the first like 10 minutes of Bumblebee,
I
and
haven't seen Bumblebee.
after that, it's just the same old with a girl instead of what's his name. All right, 2006. Warrant, Born Again.
I don't like what.
You know, like cherry pie.
No.
That song's.
Not the song or the food.
uh, it's like rap.
I
It's like
honestly, not
rap
to
for
go.
people who don't like rap.
It's metal for people who hate metal. No, I honestly, and I don't want to offend anybody, so hopefully this, we all have opinions, right? Don't shoot me. I can't stand anything about that whole era. Like that whole,
Yeah, it's not my era.
I can't stand it. Like I don't like Motley Crue. I don't like Warrant. I don't like any of that shit. I can't stand it.
The only good thing I can think of with that era of Motley Crue is Daryl, the drummer, loved Motley Crue like excessively and annoying, and he was at a show and he was trying to call me to say something about the show, and I had one of those messages that was like, "Hello, can you hear me? I can't hear you." I had a whole thing where I just kept going, and he's at a show, right? So it's loud.
Yeah.
Calling and thought he was talking to me the whole time, and I thought that was hilarious. That's my only Motley Crue thing that it has any.
Yeah, it still doesn't salvage them, but it's a good
No,
story.
it's a good story. Dashboard Confessional, Dusk and Summer. Did you ever listen to them?
I went to see our buddy Alex Seosin was in town, and they played direct support for Dashboard. My wife's a big Dashboard fan, so we stayed for Dashboard and then went and hung out with Alex after the show.
Yeah.
And I don't like them.
What about Vindicated, man?
What is Vindicated?
That's the only song I know by them.
I don't. They played it, I'm sure.
It was
I
on
don't
the
know.
Spider-Man soundtrack.
I honestly thought that they were terrible compared to Seosin. I thought Seosin blew them off the stage.
Well, their Seosin's a lot heavier, are they not?
Yeah.
Dashboard's not heavy at all, I don't think.
Yeah, they're a lot heavier and they have better songs. So
I think the guy from Dashboard used to be in this band called Further Seems Forever.
the vocalist.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I did tell my wife, like in between songs when he was talking, I was like, dude, that dude sounds like someone from where I'm from. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, it just sounds like dudes that from where my family's all from. And I think the singer's from like either Florida or Alabama or something. I was like, that's so funny.
Um,
Just had that like southern accent.
yeah, Gold Cobra actually, Limp Bizkit. It's kind of more. I've heard some stuff from it, but I mean, I wouldn't say I know much about it. I wasn't really a huge fan of theirs to begin with. All right, and then the last one, Lost Prophets Liberation Transmission.
Dude, I have nothing positive to say about Lost Prophets.
Did you like them though?
The only song I remember of them was it Last Train Home, maybe?
Yeah, I remember that one. I owned one of their records. It's something about a ninja and
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, no, that
Dude,
whole
they're
situation is super messed up.
yeah, it's like the most disgusting thing I've ever read about
Yeah,
in my life.
it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
How does the
Exactly,
band
Kevin.
even go on? I wonder if the other guys in the band ever went on with anything else.
Yeah, I read an article that came out some years after that whole deal, and it was like those guys were like obviously trying their best to be sensitive to like what had happened, but they were like stressing that they had no idea what was going on, and they felt like I, I hate to use the word victims, but they felt like we were
Yeah,
like it ruined everything we ever worked for.
yeah, no, that's crazy. What
Yeah.
a crazy thing that is. All right, in the movies, we got Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest.
Which is that 2 or 3?
That's the second one, I think, with
I
Davy
did.
Jones.
I can't remember if I liked that one or not because I really liked the first one. I thought it was really well made, and at some point I really checked out. I think At World's End was the one that I hated. I think the second one was decent.
I think is that World's End the third one?
Isn't that the one
The
where he's
third
in
one
like
is
the white?
probably the worst one.
Yeah, like there's a moment for a while where he's just like in a void and it's all
Yeah,
completely. Yeah,
I
that
think
that
that's
that movie's terrible.
yeah, that's definitely the worst. Yeah, that is the third one.
Yeah, I think that's At World's End. And so after I saw that one, I think there's a fourth one that I have not seen because I
There's a
hated the
fifth
third one.
one too.
I hated number 3 so bad I didn't watch any after that.
I like. I think the fourth and fifth are not bad. They're not
Yeah,
great, but they're not. One just came out fairly recently, like probably a few 4 or 5 years.
yeah.
The fifth one, but I think the fourth one doesn't have. It doesn't have what's his name.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway. Um, oh, and then the only other movie, Medea Goes to Jail.
See, that's one I did not see.
Dude, we went to go see. We wanted to go see it at the drive-in in Dallas. Me and Will and Denise.
Hmm.
Which let me just say, going to the drive-in in Texas is brutal because it
Yeah.
is hot all the time, and that ain't cool for a drive. You think the night's gonna be cool? No, the night's still hot as all get out.
Yeah.
But so, if you've been to the drive-in, they always show two movies.
Uh-uh.
You never been to a drive-in?
Uh-uh.
Oh, dude, I love the drive-in. But anyway,
So
um,
did y'all kill the vehicle?
yeah, you gotta turn the vehicle off. You can't have it running.
Yeah, that wouldn't work in Texas.
You could, yeah, maybe depending on the time of year, but
Yeah, I mean maybe if it's like the dead of winter.
so before it was Medea's Boo 2. And I'm like, oh, that's
Ooh.
cool. Check out Medea. I mean, it's a lot of movies. It's got to be good. It was the worst thing I'd ever seen, man. I felt like I was watching a movie from like the early '90s with the jokes in it.
That
And it's
didn't
like, yeah,
ever make it to that
these
shouldn't have made
jokes
it
are
to the
like
theater.
these jokes are awful. They're like, are you working hard or hardly working?
Ho, ho, ho.
That's a joke. That would be like a joke in those movies.
Dude.
Anyway, if you could get some kind of portable air conditioner, like if you had like a, then the drive-in would be fine. But it's
Yeah.
too hot otherwise.
Yeah.
Um, all right, 2001. There was no albums or no albums, so there were three movies.
Okay.
AI, the artificial intelligence movie. Did you ever see that with Haley Joel Osment?
No.
Do you remember that video, the SNL, the librarian,
I don't think so.
where it's playing the and there she's like really hot, but then she starts turning into like a monster.
Uh-uh.
We watched it on a stream thing. Anyway,
What?
she lifts up her shirt, and he's like Haley Joel Osment, and as a kid, and then she lifts up another part of her shirt. He's like Haley Joel Osment now. Anyway, Chip, we definitely watched it.
I don't know.
It's got that song down down. That song where it's like, "Oh baby" or whatever.
Do don't.
What's the girl's? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's that's the
do
song.
don't. Boop, 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 boop.
Who's the girl too? It's the girl who plays Harley. She
Chicka.
plays Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, yeah. She's like a hot librarian, but then she starts like taking her hair starts falling out.
Oh no! Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
And,
yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that.
and then she like snaps someone's neck. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, artificial intelligence that had him in it. It's whatever. What about Doctor Doolittle 2, Chip?
Maybe
Doctor Doolittle 2. Did you ever watch that?
that's another Eddie Murphy one.
Yeah.
I think I did see the Doctor Doolittle movies.
Um, I never saw him. And then Pootie Tang. Did you ever watch that?
Samaka to the capital.
You've seen that?
No,
Oh.
no, I've seen. So he was on the Chris Rock show, and I had that on DVD back when I had my first apartment. And he was
Who
like a
was?
Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang's a person?
It's a character, but I mean,
Oh,
it's
from
just
is that what the movie's based on?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
So it's so stupid though.
It sounds like it'd be pretty
It's so stupid. As a bit character on the Chris Rock show, it was pretty funny. But I mean, he most of what he said was just gibberish. It didn't make a lot of sense,
Yeah.
you know. And he's got like slick back hair and some curls, and he's like all fly, kind of 1970s looking.
Let me check
And
this. Hang on.
dude, Pootie Tang,
I didn't even know that was like a reoccurring thing.
dude, it's Samata to the capital.
All right, so now we're to 1996. 1996. So is it a guy with like a mustache and like
Pootie
short
Tang?
hair? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not short. It's just if you're not looking at him from the side, you wouldn't see it because it's like slick back, and then it's either like curly or like maybe in braids or something. But he's got long hair.
I see. Okay. All right. Anyway.
He's it's stupid funny, but very heavy on the stupid.
Freddie got fingered.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie. I've just seen the bits that he did on Chris Rock, and that was pretty stupid. But still,
I
again,
remember
funny.
the Chris Rock show, but I don't remember anything from it.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
so
he was a
19
musician in Chris Rock show. I don't know if he was in the movie or not.
1996 with a bullet. Your favorite band, your probably favorite album, Kiss. You wanted the best, you got the best.
Dude, I absolutely hate Kiss. I hate them so bad.
Yeah.
Hate Kiss. Hate them.
Chip, I don't like Kiss either though, but yeah.
No, I can't stand them.
Dude, when I was a kid, Kiss, people always told me like Kiss was like bad and you can't listen to them and Judas Priest and all that stuff, and I thought they were like going to be super heavy, like just death metal-y kind of bands.
What a letdown, right?
Yeah, they're nothing like that.
Yeah. They're campy bullshit.
I can't even think. I don't even know if I could tell you a Judas Priest song.
Breaking the law.
That's
Breaking
that's
the
the
law.
only,
Breaking
the only,
the law.
The only reason I ever heard that song was Daryl from Evans Blue was like such a big fan of that kind of stuff.
The only reason I know that song is because Beavis and Butthead. Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Dude, I liked the Beavis and Butthead when they were like doing stuff, but I didn't like when they were just watching music videos.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. But like I watched some of it when I was older, and it was a lot funnier when I was older.
Yeah, well,
Like
that makes sense.
their video commentary. But yeah, no, I used to couldn't wait for them to stop watching a music video so they would like roam around and do stupid shit.
Yeah, like that's the same. All right, that was the only album, and then the movies we got The Nutty Professor.
Dude, I love The Nutty Professor.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That dinner scene is to this day like some classic cinema. That is hot cinema.
It's hot cinema. Striptease, Chip.
I never saw Striptease.
Neither did I. Well,
I was too young.
I saw some parts of it.
I was way too young.
If you get my meaning, Chip. I saw some
Yeah,
parts
I
of
hear you.
some parts. And then Independence Day.
Oh, dude, I remember that movie. That was such a big deal.
You know what's funny is last week it was Independence Day Resurgence. So
Yeah.
yeah, this week Independence Day, but that was in '96.
So I was in
Um,
summer camp in Atlanta. So 96, in the summer of 96, I would have been 12. Um, Turned 13 that October. But during the summer, I remember it being, God, that movie was huge. It was
dude,
such a huge movie. Like, I don't honestly, I don't know what movie has been like that important for like a young boy to see in recent years. Like, that was one of those movies, like, you had to see
yeah,
Independence Day. You had to.
I still like watching it. It's still good.
I but I remember, so I was at this camp which was on like the university campus, and so I want to say that was the year that the Olympics were going to be in Atlanta, and so like they had built like these really badass like training facilities at the university there.
Hmm.
And so we got to swim on an Olympic sized pool and jump off. Like they let us jump off the high dive. It was really cool. But I remember like begging my parents when they picked me up and to take me to see Independence Day, and we went and saw it. It was like the movie was a big deal back then.
I feel like I saw that at drive-in. I saw lots of movies at the drive-in when I was younger, but yeah, no, that movie was good. Still good. Still good in my opinion. Um,
That really
okay,
broke Will Smith into like a superstar status.
yeah, probably. I'm trying to think of something that's kind of the modern equivalent, but
Dude, I mean like recently,
yeah,
I can't think of anything.
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe like In Game was like that important
Yeah,
for.
I guess those movies can kind of be like that.
Speaking of which, I just started. So I don't know if I ever told you this, but I haven't seen but like a few of those movies, like the
Of
whole
Marvel,
MCU.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw the first Avengers back way back in the day.
yeah,
I saw. I think I fell asleep in Age of Ultron. I
sounds
saw
about right.
Ragnarok, and I saw the last two Infinity War and Endgame. But
Yeah,
dude, I hadn't seen it, any of the other Thor movies. I had only seen one Iron Man. So I started it like in chronological order last week. Started watching all the MCU because I have Disney Plus,
yeah.
and just like going through them one at a time.
Which one? What's the last one you saw?
Dark World.
Oh, Thor: Dark World.
Yeah,
That's the one most people think sucks.
it's it's
I
not.
thought it was fine. I don't
Yeah,
really like Natalie Portman that much as an actress,
yeah.
and I think she's kind. And now the next Thor is like her. Is she's gonna be Thor?
Like
Like,
in a forthcoming film.
yeah,
Oh, dude, wait, just wait. That is going to get more hate than you can possibly imagine.
yeah. I don't think anything is gonna get more hate than Captain Marvel.
I
People,
watched it. I thought it was good.
I thought it was fine. It's whatever. It's not. It's not the best, but it's
No, I didn't. I'm not saying like I loved it, but I don't think it's bad.
well. People got all mad because I guess she's kind of outspoken about like douchey dudes or whatever. So the dudes the dudes got mad.
What?
I think she said something like,
Oh, so wait, you're telling me outside of the film,
yeah,
nothing.
outside of the film,
Oh,
something,
I can see why that matters.
yeah. Like, did you ever hear about how the Force was female, Chip? People really hate that.
Who said the Force is female?
The girl, the lady who runs Kathleen Kennedy, I think she said it as like a, I mean, I don't really understand how you could be offended by it, but people really got offended by
I mean, like, haven't we in Western society named inanimate things or like
it.
termed them as female? Like a ship is female, a car is female, and
Well, I think people don't. If the people that don't like if you got a Ray character, then you also say that the Force is female. It's like taking away their manliness of Star
but
Wars.
then at the same time, like there's people who are upset about that. Don't you feel like they would tend to perhaps be slightly homophobic also?
They just want uh, Princess Leia in a bikini. That's the way the woman, the women need to be, Chip.
Yeah, but I mean,
Just put them
like,
in that bikini.
but you'd be like, so you want the force surrounding you to be a dude, and then they're like,
You like fish sticks.
yeah, so you like fish sticks,
Yeah.
so you're a gay fish.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right, Chip.
I don't understand that stuff, dude. I really
Uh,
don't. Like people get so upset about
Dude,
tongue in cheek.
it's something like if you have a daughter, it's cool to watch a movie that your daughter is like gonna love.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
got a I
I
got a
don't get
daughter.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like, why do I care if there's a girl or a dude?
right.
I don't need my kids to watch what I watched and been like, and they, that's it.
Well,
Let them
and
have their own
also if
crap.
you go back and watch some of the stuff we grew up watching, it's not as good as you remember anyway.
Well, it's not even only that. You got most of these most movies. Let's be honest, most movies are dude centric.
Yeah.
You know, like who cares if there's like a couple? It's
Dude, it's like, did I ever tell you about what we do, like our company does for Halloween?
uh no, you trick
So
or treat, mass trick or treat.
kind of, but it's like it's more organized than just trick or treating. We have a large property that we throw it on, and we get tents, like these large, like 80 by 80 tents, and some of them are smaller, like 40 by 40. But each department, like, so we have a sales department, a parts department, a service department,
Yeah,
new, used, anyway, a body shop, whatever. Each department has a tent and we kind of theme it, right? So
yeah,
they tasked me with the service department, like, you need to come up with something for people to do in your tent. And the first few years, we did a zombie hunt where, like, I had a bunch of my guys that I work with and we would, like, get costumes and face paint, and some of us would dress up like soldiers and most of them would be zombies, and we would lead them through this tent that we built mazes in and shoot zombies with Nerf guns. And kids really loved it until they got way too into it. I had one of my guys got a bloody nose because a kid pistol whipped him with a Nerf, the butt of a Nerf gun, and they just got way too into it. It got a little over the top violent. So we went away from that and we did a video game tent,
yeah,
right? And so I got this, like, trussing that we've used for shows, like at our production company.
yeah.
And I mounted 3 TVs to one 20-foot stick of truss, and then 3 TVs to another 20-foot stick of truss. And I got video game consoles and beanbag chairs, and kids can sit in there and play each other on video games. Now, other departments that do carnival games like shoot basket, ring toss, pop the balloons with the dart, stuff like that. Other
Yeah.
ones had a petting zoo. They had an obstacle course.
Reverse petting zoo.
You pet the animals, they pet you back. And then they had a really, really good haunted house that one of the guys who works for us is a mechanical engineer. So he had, like, clowns on pneumatic cylinders that would, like, pop out and, like, have, like, arms that would, like, weigh. Anyway, my point is, I decided several years ago to do, because our tent's big, but we don't fill it up. I decided to have, like, a coloring book area and give away princess dolls. And my wife, who's just absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous, um, dresses up like a Disney princess and does, like, a Disney princess experience with the girls, where she'll help them color, take pictures with them, dress them up. They do all kinds of fun stuff, and then they take pictures and they get to take a Barbie home. Dude, if I cannot tell you how many people have come in pissed off that we don't have something for the boys.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's an obstacle course, there's
Yeah.
video games, there's a haunted house, there's the carnival rides and the carnival games. A lot of these girls come here in dresses, dressed up like a little princess.
Yeah.
They don't want to go in the haunted house because it's too scary. They don't like video games because they're just not. I mean, some girls like to game, but a lot don't.
Yeah.
They don't want to do the obstacle course because they'll tear up their dress. They don't go on the scary rides because they're like little princesses.
Right.
We have one, this is a man's world.
Yeah.
We have one corner of one tent that is for the girls.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with that, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's absolutely absurd.
What about Princess Chip? Where's your Prince corner?
Yeah,
Come
where's the
on, man.
Prince experience? How come you don't have a boy
Yeah,
thing
there's
to
no
give
boy
away?
princess. Where's the
And I'm
boy
like,
princesses, Chip?
it's so annoying, dude.
Well,
Want
it's
to
not
do
surprising.
one thing for the girls, like for the little girls. I have a daughter, and she's too old for this now, but I want something for because I've watched her come to these things and not have as much to do as the little boys can participate in literally everything that's there.
Yeah.
They can do anything there. But the little girls find themselves not wanting to do a lot of this stuff because it's too scary, or they're in a dress. They don't want to do an obstacle course in a dress, or they just
Yeah.
don't want to do it at all. Anyway, it's
Well, I got an idea for your theme this year.
Which is?
Cinema of the Unsettling.
I have over 200 horror films.
All right, Chip. 1991 we're on now.
Oh wow, it's taking it back.
The only album was Anthrax Attack of the Killer Bees.
I would never listen to them.
Bring the Noise is the only song I know by. I have an Anthrax album though. It's got like a big ball of garbage or something as the cover.
Yeah, I've never listened to Anthrax.
And the only movie, Naked Gun 2.5.
I've never seen Naked Gun movies either.
Pretty funny. Yep. Wait, you never saw the first one?
Dude, I mean, that would have been.
I don't know if it holds up. I watched it actually just recently, and I didn't find it as funny, but I've probably seen it too much as a kid.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I would have been really young.
86, Chip.
Okay, I'm 2.
Rod Stewart, Every Beat of My Heart. Don't you love Rod Stewart?
I'm related to Rod Stewart.
You're related? Oh, yeah, because
that's my dad's uncle.
Your dad's uncle?
No, not really.
Your brother's cousin's uncle's nephew's roommate?
Yeah, but you could imagine what it'd be like if we were.
Imagine if we were, yeah. Peter Cetera, Solitude Solitaire. I thought that sounded like somebody that you would know.
I know who that is. That's the bass player from Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's like a solo album?
I mean, I've never heard it.
Or does he just slap?
Oh, dude, he's got an amazing voice. Like all that
I've
really
heard the name.
All that really high stuff from Chicago is Peter Cetera. Like waiting for the break of day. All the real high stuff is Peter Cetera.
So he doesn't no slap at the bass.
No, he's slap at a bass. Dude's a talented guy. Whether you like him or not, guy is super talented. All those love songs from the Chicago era of like, hard for me to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just want you to know. That's all Peter Cetera.
All right. Madonna, True Blue.
Not a Madonna fan.
That was like her big one, I think.
Is it? Got like a virgin and shit on it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Dio, Intermission.
Not a Dio fan.
Yeah, that's whatever. The only Dio I know is because of Killswitch Engage.
Hold a diver!
And then 2 movies. Ruthless People.
I
never saw that, but
I think I've seen The Case from being a kid in the movie store.
That's what I remember it from. And then Labyrinth, Chip. Did you ever see that? David Bowie?
No, I've seen Pan's Labyrinth. It's not remotely related.
No.
It's a Spanish film that I used to.
Pan's Labyrinth is amazing.
Yeah, I was watching it when I was trying to learn Spanish.
I think it's my top 5 movies of all time.
Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Do you watch with the subtitles on, or do you speak enough Spanish to understand it?
No, I don't speak any Spanish.
No hablas.
No español.
No hablas español.
But what about regular Labyrinth? You never seen that?
I'm not a Bowie fan, so I don't know if that matters or not.
Well,
but just throwing that out there. Do not like David Bowie.
So the big thing is that David Bowie is in it, and he's like the main. He's actually really good in it, but he's wearing this very tight lower leg leotard, and you can see his
business.
You can see his snake and eggs, or his
your business.
Yeah, and it's just crazy because it's a kids movie, but his junk is like so on display for a lot of that movie. But it's a very good movie. It's Jim Henson, I think. I don't know if it would hold up if you watched it now, but
it doesn't. I did a quick image search, and it doesn't look good.
It's like fantasy, man.
Yeah.
It's got some girl in it. I can't think of her name, but she's pretty popular.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, now we're on to 1981.
Okay, this is BC.
Yeah, BC
before Chip.
So we got Motorhead, No Sleep Till Hammersmith.
I don't know any Motorhead.
You know Ace of Spades, probably.
Oh yeah, Ace of Spades. I mean, I know Motorhead. I know Lemmy Kilmister. I mean, I'm familiar with them.
I was at the Rainbow Room and he was there, but he's like always there.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I didn't. I think I said hi to him.
Yeah.
but I wasn't really a fan. Three movies: 007 for Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
Any Bond, Chip? Any Bond?
Yeah, one of my best friends in Arkansas was a huge Bond fan and had like the VHS box set. And so like I've definitely seen that film. I just they run together because he had like
There's like a ton of them.
yeah, he had the collection that had like the uh
I've only seen for Bond. I've only seen like uh, a couple of the ones with Pierce Brosnan, and then I've seen the newer ones with the kid.
yeah, this is before Pierce. I mean, he had the collection before Pierce Brosnan was even Bond. So he had
Yeah,
the
yeah. No, this would have been like either what's his name,
Sean
Sean
Connery,
Connery or Roger Moore.
Roger
I think.
Moore.
All right, Chip. What about Stripes? You
I've
ever see
never.
Stripes with Bill Murray,
Oh,
John
and
Candy?
Timothy Dalton. That was the other one he
Oh
had. So
yeah,
he had the Timothy Dalton, um, Sean Connery, and Roger Moore collections. But sorry, no, I've never. I know what Stripes is, but I've never seen it.
it's classic. I saw that so many times as a kid, and I probably shouldn't have. And then the Great Muppet Caper, Chip.
Ooh, is
Did you like
that?
the Muppets?
Yes, I do like the Muppets.
That's the one where they try to steal some jewel or something.
Um, I don't know if I saw that one or not.
Miss
Which
Piggy.
one's the one where they start off?
Someone has a mustache. I think Kermit wears a mustache or something.
What's the one where they start off getting uh the Studebaker
I think
for
that's Take Manhattan.
no?
You got regular Muppets, the first Muppets movie. Then you got Take Manhattan, which I don't know when that came out, and then you got the Muppet Caper. Those are the three. That's the trilogy of Muppets in that era, anyway. Anyway, 1976 is the last one. Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. Did you ever listen to him?
No. The
All right,
Muppet movie. 1979, is that right?
sounds right.
I don't know.
I
My
remember
little
watching the
brother and
Muppets
I
growing up
we watched there was one where that starts off with them
in a Studebaker.
in the Rainbow Connect singing the Rainbow Connection, but that may be a bunch of them.
So wait, did it the Studebaker? I thought is that the first one or is that the Manhattan one?
It's not Manhattan. Well, maybe it is, dude. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. No, it's in the Muppet movie. Yeah. So anyway, Alice Cooper. Chip, do you ever listen to him?
I mean, I'm familiar with him, but I
I like
never like had any of his stuff.
I like Feed My Frankenstein.
Feed my
That's another Wayne's World thing, eh?
Yeah,
Good
I
sequel.
loved that movie as a kid.
That movie's funny. I think the sequel's good too.
I'm being shit on. That's right, shit on.
I think the sequel's good. Did you like the sequel?
It was okay. I didn't like it as much.
That was pretty good.
That's the one where they're trying to put together Woodstock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then three movies. The Omen.
Hmm.
It's like a crazy devil kid, I think.
Yeah.
The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Hmm.
I think that's what's his name? Clint Eastwood. And then Logan's Run.
Dude, I've
Is that
not
a
seen
chip
any of
movie?
those, dude.
Yeah, they're 10 years BC
Yeah.
or so. Maybe not
7.
8 years.
Yeah.
Some many years, but
Much years.
that's it. That is all the movies and shows that
Yeah.
sort of had some kind of impact, even though I don't think you or I had watched or listened to most of them.
Yeah, not a lot of commentary on those.
Yeah, they're kind of whatever. But that's the way it goes in the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35,
Right.
40, 45. Just old Chip. Just two old men.
I know. It happens.
Yeah. Talking about TikTok, crypto.
Right. Get off my yard.
Yeah. Well, Chip, do you got anything else? Because I got nothing else.
No, man. I think
What, two
We're,
two
we're,
hours
we're
and
looking
10
at,
minutes is a
yeah, I
long
was gonna
haul.
say we're just clocking in over 2 hours. I think that's,
We gotta stream these down to 1.5.
yeah.
Anyway, sounds good. I think we got next week, and then the week after that, I'll have to do Wednesday because July 8th, I am flying to the US and A.
Yeah, that's exciting for
I am
me.
not looking forward to the border.
Yeah.
I am not looking for because it's even worse because I got COVID forms I got to fill out, and I got to prove I got to take my COVID test 2 days before.
It's gonna be
Just a
fun.
bunch of garbage.
Yeah. How many times have you been tested?
Never.
Really?
No tests.
I got tested once when I went to go see Dave Chappelle.
So how did that work?
They had us outside in this like big line. They did a pretty decent job keeping everybody spaced out because we were spread between two different levels and
Right.
and like a stair line at the House of Blues. And they came by and they swabbed us, and then you waited 20 minutes and they called your name, told you were good, gave you a Dave Chappelle face mask,
Mm-hmm.
and you went to your seat. It was awesome.
Did you have to wear a mask the whole time?
I mean, they had food and drinks there, so I mean, once you got your seat, if you had food or drink, I mean, obviously you take your mask down,
Yeah.
but they
So
requested,
you just as long as you never stop drinking,
yeah, you're good.
you can be maskless. Well, you
Yeah,
guys are
well,
pretty much maskless everywhere now, anyway.
pretty much. I mean, at this point, you're supposed to wear a mask if you're not vaccinated, but I mean, no one's gonna pull your
Well,
card.
I could see that going over real well on the honor system.
Yeah, yeah. This is Texas, man.
Well, just anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But no, I was really good. There was the dude who went through the Galleria like early in the pandemic and here in Houston, and he was like, did I tell you about this? The dude that was going through the Galleria, like trying to shame people for being there, but he was there. It's like,
Well, we're mostly well, we're not. We're open like with like limits on like people who can be in the store or whatever.
did you get your second shot?
I go on Saturday.
All right, on.
But I was trying to find a picture. This is the? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of stupid things that are going on in this whole situation. But the Montreal Canadiens are in the playoffs or whatever, so they're allowed to have 3,500 people in the stands because they don't
Dude,
want
what
people
is
to.
that ticket gonna cost? Jeez.
Yeah, probably a ton. But here's the dumb thing: is that in the stands or in the arena, 3,500 people. But in Canada and a lot of places, if you can't get into the game, they'll have TVs and stuff outside,
Yeah,
like a
like
big
watch
screen.
parties or whatever.
Yeah, so they'll show the goal scored, and there's 3,500 people. They're obviously psyched. Then they show the outside scene. It's like
And there's
it's got to be
35,000 people.
thousands of people, like shoulder to shoulder, just cheering on or whatever. It's like, do you guys not see how stupid this is?
Yeah, the cognitive dissonance is
Yeah,
just
it's like,
unbelievable.
no, we're not going to allow you in here in seats where you actually would be separated. But
Yeah.
you can hang it outside and
Yeah.
be up each other's ball sacks, and you're fine. Stupid.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Couldn't get any more. Couldn't describe it. I know it's probably not government, but it sounds like something the government would do.
I'm sure there's some influence,
So
right?
probably.
I mean, because like I feel like capitalism dictates if they were allowed to sell every seat, then they absolutely would.
Yeah. Just weird rules.
Yeah, man. Well, man, I appreciate everyone tuning in.
Yeah.
It's
So yeah, we'll be back Thursday. We'll figure out something, and then the following Wednesday we could do, and then I'll be in the U.S. and have to figure something out after that.
and then we can start looking at getting some of this stuff out, get state by state out, book some
Play
shows.
show.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate y'all's time, man. We'll see y'all next week. Later, Kev. Have a good night, brother.
Later.